pastors in Nigeria. I'm going to be telling you about their private jets, source of income, and lastly, their network. Before we proceed, hit the subscription button if you want to be part of our Goons Nation. Apostle Johnson Suleiman, a graduate of the University of Benin, founded Omega Fire Ministry in the year 2004. Before then, he was an assistant pastor in the Armor of God Church, a Lagos-based ministry. The fiery preacher has escaped several attacks, while Pastor Adeboye, his spiritual father, is scandal-free. Apostle Suleiman has been accused of sleeping with many Nollywood actresses in time past. In Suleiman garage are exotic automobiles like Range Rover, Ford Explorer, BMW X6, Toyota Prado, and a Rolls Royce. You don't need to be surprised about the car collection of a man who owns a private jet. Do you want to know about how Apostle Suleiman got his private jet? I can hear you say yes. Apostle Suleiman sponsored two young men some years back to school abroad. The appreciative and grateful men who are not doing well for themselves decided to put a smile on the apostle's face with the gift of a private jet. Reno Omokri disclosed this on social media when the apostle was criticized by Daddy Freeze for acquiring a private jet despite his church member living in penury and poverty. Pastor Sam Adeyemi is a motivational speaker, life coach, and a best-selling author. I am just stylishly telling you why he appears on the list. The father of three, who is originally from Kogi State, founded Daystar Christian Center in the year 1995 in Lagos. Sam Adeyemi left Nigeria for America immediately after the EndSARS protests, as he was about to be prosecuted by the government for allegedly supporting the movement. The pastor, who has authored many books, holds a master's degree in leadership from the University of Exeter in UK. When news broke about the outspoken pastor acquiring a private jet some years back, he denied, though the pastor has never denied his net worth of $9 million. Have you ever seen anyone or group of people wearing this lemon green apron? They are called the Lord Choosing. Pastor Lazarus Muoka, the general overseer of the church, started the ministry in the year 2002. The Lord Choosing Charismatic Revival Ministry is one of the fastest growing churches in the world. Pastor Muoka, who is an indigenous of Imo State, was born into a Catholic family. Many people have accused the man of God of stage managing miracles and healings in his ministry. His church members are currently on a move to make him a private jet owner. They are literally contributing money to buy him a private jet. Daddy Freeze will not be happy with this kind of news. The pastor, who has authored many books, is worth $9.5 million. This particular one is not a pastor but a wrestler as well. Odumeje, also known as the Liquid Metal, is a very popular man of God in Nigeria, especially among people from the southeastern part of the country. The founder of the Holy Ghost Intervention and Deliverance Ministry, who was born in the year 1980, was into shoemaking and leather business before he received the call of God to start his ministry. Odumeje was some time ago manhandled by personnel of Anambra State Task Force during a demolition exercise in his facility. I wonder why the man of God could not use his WrestleMania tactic on the task force personnel, pun intended. Odumeje received expensive car gifts from his church followers without asking. The reason in his garage are expensive automobiles like Range Rover Sport, Mercedes G-Wagon, Toyota Prado, Ford Bronco, and a Jeep Wrangler. His assets may not be that cool, but his bank account and net worth is what many people are praying for daily. Odumeje is currently worth $10 million. David Ibiyeomie is a spiritual son to Pastor David Oyedepo. He has really learned a lot from his father. He started Salvation Ministry at the age of 35 in Victoria Island, Lagos, immediately after graduating from David Oyedepo's own Word of Life Bible Institute. The Ikwere-born pastor is not the type to mess with. Ask Kemi Olunloyo what happened to her when she accused the pastor of knacking Iyabo Ojo, a popular Nollywood actress. The pastor currently has the biggest church auditorium in the world. If you want to know about the capacity, Check the link in the description of this video where I talk about the top 10 biggest church auditoriums in Nigeria. 2 Rolls-Royce Phantom, Range Rover, G-Wagon, Mercedes limousine are some of the automobiles in the wealthy pastor garage. Ibiyeomie bought a Dassault Falcon private jet to celebrate his 55th birthday. According to the pastor, he is qualified to own a private jet as he also gave God an offering of $1 million. David Ibiyeomie is currently worth $18 million. Ashimolowo was born in Kaduna State to a Muslim father. He would later convert to Christian when he lost his father at the age of 20. The pastor, who is from Kwara State, started Kingsway International Christian Center in London. How did he get to London? How was KICC formed? All these I shall be revealing to you very soon in this video. Why not subscribe to our channel if you want to become part of our Goons Nation? Back to the story. Ashimolowo was sent to London to head a branch of Foursquare Gospel Church as a pastor, a church where he was ordained as a full-time minister. After some time while in the UK, he rang the general overseer back home and informed him about receiving a divine call from God to start his own ministry. That was how he broke out from the Foursquare Gospel Church. Today, that same ministry started by him has become the biggest Pentecostal church in the UK. Why Ashimolowo worth more than some pastor who own private jet? The pastor does not own one. Pastor Ashimolowo has been a strong defender of pastors who owns private jet. The wealthy pastor, a lover of automobile, owns a Tesla Model X, 2 Rolls-Royce, Range Rover, Mercedes Brabus, a Lamborghini, and a Bentley Bentayga. The UK-based pastor have a net worth of $20 million. Pastor Ayo Oritsejafor was a protege of late Archbishop Benson Idahosa, though he left the church to start his own ministry before the demise of the Archbishop. He was a former president of CAN, Christian Association of Nigeria, the umbrella body of Christians, and once headed the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria. The televangelist, whose ABN TV is viewed in more than 80 countries worldwide, founded his church, the Word of Life Bible Church, in the year 1987. The pastor, who often travel in long cover, owned exotic automobiles such as BMW, Rolls-Royce, Lexus LX, a Prado, a Hummer limousine, and a Bentley. This Gulfstream G500 belongs to the wealthy pastor. The Warri pastor, a good friend to former President Goodluck Jonathan, is worth $21 million. Pastor Chris Oyakhilome, the founder of Christ Embassy, started as a small fellowship in Bender University, now Abrosali University. Also a mentee to Idahosa. Do you know Archbishop Benson Idahosa departed this world few days to when he was supposed to minister at Pastor Oyakhilome Church back then in Ekpoma? Christ Embassy, a youth-centric church, has branches in all continents of the world. Their daily devotional, the Rhapsody, is the highest-selling Christian literature in the world after the Bible, with over 22 billion sold since its inception in the year 2001. In Canada alone, the church currently have over 50 branches. His fleet of rides include a Rolls-Royce, Bentley, Prado, G-Wagon, Chevrolet SUV, Ford Explorer, and a Mercedes Maybach. The televangelist, with a membership base of 14 million, also have a Bombardier Global 7000 private jet. According to Forbes, the eloquent pastor is worth $50 million. Pastor Adeboye is a pastor. Even pastors who are not members of his denomination regard as a father. Do you know Bishop Oyedepo was ordained into ministry by Pastor Adeboye? Let me shock you again. It is said that Bishop Oyedepo pays tithe to the Redeemed Christian Church of God. The soft-spoken pastor joined the church as an interpreter to the unlettered founder, late Reverend Josiah Akindayomi. Akindayomi, the founder of Redeemed, was a former Ogun worshipper until he was called by God. Adeboye, who was born in the year 1942 in Osun State, graduated from the University of Ife in the year 1967. Redeemers University and various travel businesses owned by the church are all located in the church camp. Have you heard of Emmanuel Aviation before? It is a private airline owned by the popular pastor. He currently has 2 aircraft, Gulfstream G550 that cost him $60 million, a Gulfstream GIV which goes for $45 million. He is Nigeria's second richest pastor with a net worth of $90 million. You must be a joker if you think Bishop Oyedepo money is coming from ministry alone. I will be revealing to you his long list of business and investment very soon. The billionaire pastor who studied architecture from Kwara State Polytechnic in Ilorin was introduced to early morning prayer and Christian activity by his grandmom. Bishop Oyedepo owned residential estate in choice location in Nigeria. He also owned Covenant University, one of the most expensive university in Nigeria. Lest I forget, Landmark University belongs to him too. Million copies of his books, tapes, and CDs are sold monthly, amounting to thousands of dollars in revenue. Dominion Air is a private airline owned by the pastor who owns 4 private jets. The current state of inflation increased the parking fee of each of the jets to $1,000 per hour, according to aviation experts. With a net worth of $180 million, Oyedepo is the richest pastor in Nigeria.